you doing, everyone? Welcome to this episode of the Cajun Conservative Show, where we talk about life, we talk about liberty, and yes, we talk about the pursuit of happiness, and we show you, the audience in the world, that Cajuns do have intelligence. Hope you're having a good day, a good week, wherever you're located. Just remember that this is the day that the Lord has made. You should rejoice and be glad in it. Want to welcome everyone that is listening to the show, all my TikTok live audience that is listening to the show while we record it. For the podcast audience, hope everyone's having a good day. Ladies and gentlemen, I said I would talk about this yesterday, and it has happened. I said if this issue would rise up, I would address it, and I will. Because I'm not the only conservative / Republican that is against what happened yesterday. And what happened yesterday should have never happened in Congress for a couple of reasons, and I will address my concerns on the TikTok bill. I'm against this TikTok bill. This TikTok bill ban, which the government is saying it isn't really a ban. TikTok has the opportunity to stay in the United States, and I'm thinking like how can you say this isn't a ban? Okay, how can you say this isn't a ban on TikTok when you're telling the company if you don't sell within 180 days, you are not going to be in the United States? Isn't that a ban? But you hear the government, they're saying, no, it's not a ban. No, TikTok is staying in the United States. No, there's tons of issues I have with this. Now, let me go ahead and address the bill itself. On Wednesday, the GOP-led House passed a bill that could lead to a ban on TikTok unless its Chinese-based parent company, ByteDance, diverts is in the popular social media app. The legislation, known as the Protect American from Foreign Adversary Control Application Act, was approved by a 352 vote to 65 vote against. 50 Democrats, 15 Republicans voted against the measure. The bill is now headed to the Democrat-controlled Senate. A keynote here, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez both voted against this bill. I always say that a broken clock is right twice a day, and these two got it. They did right. Look, props to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And like I said, hey, things happen. Two of them. These two people are totally opposite. They don't agree on anything, and they agreed that this was a bad bill. And like I said, broken clock is right twice a day. And if you like Marjorie Taylor Greene, or if you like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, don't like the other, you can understand. But this bill passed the House unanimously. It was a bipartisan bill. They were bipartisanly wrong. The legislation demands that ByteDance sell TikTok within 180 days of the bill being enacted, or risk having the app face a clampdown in the United States. I like how the writer of this article said clampdown. No, it would be banned from the United States. In addition, the bill will create for the president to designate certain significant specifics, define social media applications that are subject to the control of foreign adversary prior Title 10. The posts impose a national security threat. Designated applications will face the prohibited on app stores available and websites. So basically what this bill does, it gives the president of the United States the power. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen that are watching and that are listening to this show. Gives the president the power of the United States to go to a website and says, well, look, I think this is aiding and abetting foreign adversaries. So you got to sell it, or you got to stop what you're doing, or we're going to ban you in the United States. That's my first issue with this. You know who censors people? Dictators. Do you know what foreign adversaries do? They are socialistic countries or communistic countries. They censor people, and they does not censor what they can say, what they could hear. And look, I understand the concerns of TikTok. I do. But Facebook sells your information, takes your information in. So you're telling me that it's all right for Facebook, it's all right for Instagram, it's all right for an American company to take your data and take your information? Well, hold on, Isaac. Hold on. Wait a minute. TikTok is from China. TikTok is a foreign adversary, and TikTok can influence people. Well, so can Facebook. So can YouTube. So can one of my listeners on the live chat on TikTok just said Amazon. You don't think it's a coincidence that if you're thinking of something or you look for something online and all of a sudden Amazon showed you 20 different products that you were looking at? If you're going to, look, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. The people in Congress should have said, listen, if we're going to ban TikTok for selling information, we have to, hold on, that's an American company. Now, some people might be listening to this, Isaac, you're biased because you're on TikTok. Well, there's a congressman that's on TikTok, and he voted for this thing. I understand that TikTok has concerns. Every social media app has concerns. But to give the president power, that's another argument. I found that out last night. To give the president power to take over a social media app or a website is dangerous. And look, I thought about this yesterday. This was done. I don't know what the Republican was thinking, but there was a Democrat that co-authored this bill. Why the heck will a Republican say, hey, you're a Democrat, and I think you have the best intentions at heart. So guess what? We're going to go ahead and team up and write a bill. And a Democrat writes a bill for the president. Now, we understand this could go for a Republican president as well, but come on. And this is why I can't stand swamp rat Republicans. Now, this is causing concern, just not in a media world, because like I said, TikTok is one of my biggest platforms. We're about to hit 1,000 followers. If we can hit that today, great. Let's do it. I'll talk about it tomorrow. But Elon Musk is worried about this. Elon Musk warns TikTok bill is about censorship and government control. And that's what it's looking like. Oh, no, we're trying to protect you. We want to help you. We want to protect you, the American citizen. But why does it give power to the government to tell a private company, you have to sell your business? They tried doing this with Elon. A lot of people are like, oh, no. You remember a while back, they told Elon, listen, we think you are a threat to our democracy. You're going to have to sell X. And you know what Elon Musk told him? Hey, I got $1 billion. Let's go. And they realized, we can't go ahead and talk. We can't really face Elon Musk. Elon Musk survived. Now, TikTok didn't know this was coming. They didn't give TikTok no warning. And TikTok is warning, hey, this could go against the First Amendment. Now, there's another reason why I'm upset about this bill as well, and I'm going to address this right now. People in America, and I can't say everybody in America, because America has 350 million some people in this country, and roughly 170 million people are on TikTok. So pretty close to a little under half of the population of the United States have TikTok. And TikTok sent a message to this followers, to the people that had the app, and said, listen, can you go ahead and call your congressman or call your congresswoman and tell them we don't want you to ban TikTok? And thousands of phone calls called in on the Congress. Now, Fox Business says youth called in, some kids called in, and asked their rep what the bill was about and everything. But the phones got jammed about this issue. Majority of people don't know. They didn't know this was going on. But according to Chip Roy and others, this is dangerous. See, this is about a bill about a social media platform. But what about if it's false information and TikTok tries to influence people? Again, Facebook. If you remember the Hunter Biden laptop, that was going on. That was being told, hey, this was found at a computer shop, and it's holding some information that could hurt the campaign for Biden. We have to shut it down. And at the time, Twitter was owned by a liberal buffoon. Mark Zuckerberg told Facebook, hey, don't post that. If somebody talks about that, you need to get rid of that. So any social media platform can be used for influence. See, the Democrats were worried about that because, hey, that helped them. But TikTok says, hey, let's go ahead and tell your congressman you want to keep it. Oh, this is bad. What, the American people telling the Congress what to do? That, if you read the top of the Constitution, it says we the people, not we the politician. It's thousands of phone calls, and we're not going to go ahead and obey you because we know what's best for you. When the government starts saying that they know what's best for us, I'm scared. And look, if you don't like TikTok, delete the app. If you don't want to hear about TikTok, don't look at it. If you think TikTok is bad, don't use it. That's all you have to do. But the government, hey, we think it's bad that TikTok is for kids. We think okay, you might think it's bad, but if the majority of American people telling you not to touch it, don't touch it. But the government thinks they're better. They can understand better. And look, I'm not just talking about Democrats. I'm talking about Republicans. Because Mike Johnson, Chip Roy, all the prominent Republicans said this is a good bill. It gives power to the government, which means the government wants control. And look, like I said, when the government says this is good for you, I tend to worry. This is not a good bill. And look, I think TikTok's going to fight it, and I'm hoping it's not law yet. It has to go through the Senate, and it has to go through the President of the United States, which the President has said he will sign this bill. And the Senate, there is a lot of people that are saying, hey, we're going to go ahead and there's a lot of people in the Senate that are saying, look, we're going to go ahead and vote for this bill, which means it's going to get a good shot. It needs 60 votes. And it's a good shot that TikTok will be forced to sell, or ByteDance will be forced to sell its company. Now, that's another thing as well. They're saying that this stuff's going to China, which TikTok spent $1.5 billion, I believe, to make a way to where the United States users would go ahead, their information wouldn't be sent to China. Also, I think ByteDance, if I'm not mistaken, only owns probably 20% of the company. But they want to ban TikTok because it's bad for the American people. Also on a point, then this will be my last point for the day. Don't the government got bigger fish to fry than to worry about a social media app? Okay, the bill was called, and I'm going to read it, what I see on Daily Wire. Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Control Application Act. Listen to the first line of it. Protecting Americans from foreign adversaries. Okay, if they can get together and make a bill that bans TikTok, why can't these knuckleheads, and I'm being honest, get together and find a solution for the southern border? Okay, I'm asking a question, okay? This is a question that I feel needs to get answered by somebody in Congress. This bill Did not take long. It was rushed through the House. It was rushed through committee. It was rushed through the House. And it was fast. And it's going to the Senate, and if the Senate takes it up in committee, they can take it up in a day or two, and the president can sign it by the end of the week. And we would have 180 days left for TikTok to be on the app stores. If you're watching on TikTok, you might not be able to see me too much longer. But they can push this bill through. They can agree on this is bad for America. But they can't push through, or they can't get a bill to protect our southern border. Why? Well, because the Democrats don't want to protect the southern border. One reason, but at the same time, it's because our politicians think banning TikTok is more important than protecting our southern border. I understand there's concerns with TikTok. I used to have the same concerns. And I still got some concerns, but I got the same concerns about Facebook. I got the concerns about X. I got concerns about Google. I got all, this is all that's part of the same coin. But the United States, the government of our country, is more worried about a social media. Well, they're going to influence people. Well, if that's the case, no more campaign signs. Which it wouldn't bother me. I don't like campaign signs. I put a couple of them in my yard last election cycle. Got me in trouble. Anytime the Republicans want to pass a bill, they can't go on Fox News and say, call your congressman and tell them to pass this bill. They can't do that no more. Yeah, but TikTok did it for a bad reason. We're doing it for a good reason. You're trying to influence people. This is where I tell all my listeners, you have to do your research yourself. You have to go ahead and make sure what you're voting for is based on what you believe. That is Democrat or Republican. I can disagree with you, Democrats. I think you're passing a bad or voting for a bad bill or whatever. But at the end of the day, you go with your convictions. We can agree to disagree. I agree with Lou Jordan. Republicans want to keep the border a mess. Possibly so. But TikTok trying to influence people. It depends on you listening on. If you're a liberal, you're going to get more liberal content. If you're a Republican, you get more Republican content. If you're on TikTok and you just want to watch ladies that are halfway dressed, hey, it's going to show up on your feed. That's how the algorithm works. I'm bringing up this point that TikTok ain't the only one that's doing this. So why just focus on TikTok? Because TikTok, again, is one of the most free platforms on there. There are things that are shown on TikTok that the mainstream media isn't showing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a Facebook page, and I got over 1,000 followers on there. But my Facebook page does not see any growth. And I've done everything that I've been recommended. Oh, you need to put reels up there. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to go live. And I've done all that, but it's like nobody gets my content. And on TikTok, guess what? It's not growing at the speed of light, but my message is getting out there. At the time of this recording, I'm on TikTok Live. And we almost reached 200 people at one time. Now, did they all stay here? No. And does the viewership fluctuate? Absolutely. But I've gotten my message out on TikTok, and agree to disagree. People are watching. I get my message out there. And this is why I don't understand the Republicans. The Republicans are they're always crying about censorship. We have a platform that we can talk about our issues with, and they want to ban it. I don't understand. And see, the Republicans, they're going to pass the legislation because they like control. And this is when it comes down to it, this bill is about controlling a company. Now, there is some people, and this, I'm going to wrap up with this. There is some people that are looking to buy TikTok. Rumble is one. Kevin O'Leary went on Fox News and said, well, we're going to go ahead and buy TikTok, and we're going to do this and this. I've heard some people say Rumble shouldn't get TikTok because Rumble is a bad platform. I don't think Rumble's a bad platform. But, you know, if Rumble would get it, what would change? And we have a lot of questions on this whole ban thing. Again, it's not banned yet. But guess what? I'm going to say this. The government should not interfere with a private company. Now, I understand the foreign adversary, is from China, and I understand all their concerns. But when the government starts telling private companies what to do with their company, we're no longer in a constitutional republic or even a democracy. We're starting to go more on the lines of a socialistic country or communistic country, whatever way you want to label it, and we're in dangerous waters. And it is sad that we've come to this point to where the government is going to give power to the president and to themselves to take away your right to free speech. And look, why didn't the government work with TikTok? Why don't we just, you know, why did hey, we're just gonna do a ban? They had the CEO on Congress on the Hill talking about this stuff. Why didn't they call TikTok and say, look, we don't like how you're doing it. Let's work together and let's try to get this resolved? No, the government, hey, let's ban the thing. Because it's not about safety. In the name of safety, the government's gonna do a lot of stuff to say you're safe, but take away your freedoms. And guess what? If they take away freedoms, you're not getting it back. And I think this is just this is a bad bill. And for the Republicans that vote for it, shame on y'all. Because y'all the party that says, hey, we need to have less government control. Y'all just gave yourself more control. Hey, I call balls and strikes here. Give a shout out to my friend Eli. I think he's in the chat. Eli Yoder. What's up, my brother? Glad to have you on the live stream today. So, all right, guys. So that's gonna wrap it up. We're gonna go ahead and look, just you know, like TikTok ain't banned yet. And I know there's some people that are addicted to the app, and you shouldn't be addicted to the app. You should be addicted to Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith. TikTok isn't banned yet, but I'm going to keep track of this, and we're going to talk more about this later on. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this show. If you can, please hit the follow button on TikTok. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and follow button, depending on the platform you're on. We're on YouTube. We're on Rumble. We are on Apple. We're on Spotify. We are on iHeartRadio. We are on Amazon Music. Great platforms. And great platforms. Go ahead and check us out. Get this message out. Also, if you can, go check out our new podcast, No Longer 2, is out now. And at the time of this recording, a couple of minutes will be released, but it's out right now. It's going to be a great podcast honoring Christ in a marriage. And then go check out Brothers Just Searching. New episode dropped last night. With that being said, Jesus Christ is King. He's coming back, and he's coming back soon, so don't be faint of heart. Jesus has overcome the world. If you want to know Jesus, your Lord and Savior, reach out to me. I'll tell you how to make Jesus your Savior and heaven your home. So until next time, be blessed, be encouraged. You have a good one.